Hey man, I'm Jusko from ProudMoney.com. Apple launched the Apple Savings Account today, the Apple High Yield Savings Account that is coming out of the gate with a 4.15% APY. That's annual percentage yield, which you can think of as the interest rate on the savings account. Now, there are a few other online banks that might be slightly higher than that rate, but it's very competitive. It's right up there, nothing significantly higher. And some of the other things out there are going to require minimum deposits, where Apple is not requiring a minimum deposit to get started or a minimum balance, and it has no fees. So this is a pretty competitive product, especially if you are already an Apple customer. Now that's sort of the too long didn't watch version, the summary here, but there are some details to know about here if you're potentially interested. First and most important, you have to have an Apple card in order to get the Apple Savings Account. So you have to have the Apple credit card, which obviously if you already have the card, then that might make this interesting to you. If you were thinking about getting the card, this might make it interesting to you. As far as Apple's concerned, this is just another step in trying to kind of lock you into their system. If you didn't already have the Apple credit card, maybe this would be a reason for you to get it. And of course, if you already have it, here's just another thing where maybe they can start to get more and more into your wallet. Now, the savings account is being done as a partnership with Goldman Sachs, which is the issuing bank also behind the Apple Card. That 4.15% APY, that is the starting point for the savings account, is the starting point. It could change, and it probably will in today's interest rate environment. It may go up in the near future, but it also could go down in the future as well. So those annual percentage yields are things that don't necessarily stay in one place. So while it's competitive today, don't necessarily know for sure if it's going to be competitive tomorrow. So you have to kind of keep on top of those rates. Once you set up that Apple Savings Account, the rewards you earn on the Apple Card going to get transferred automatically into that Apple Savings Account. That is going to be the default. Now you have the option to not have that happen, but you're going to have to tell Apple that you want it to stay in your Apple Wallet and in your daily cash so that you can use it anytime you want to. Now, you may be perfectly fine with that. You may think of this as a way for you to save and have it sort of automatically done for you and get that 4+% interest rate. But if you're someone that really likes to have that money that you can use, if it gets automatically sent into the savings account, you're going to have to transfer it back out of that in order to actually use that money. And following from that, once that money is in your Apple Savings Account, yes, you can move it back out and have it in your Apple Wallet, but you can also move it to a linked bank account if you want to use it from your regular checking account, which then brings us into how does money get into the Apple Savings Account. Yes, it'll come from your Apple Card rewards, but if you want more in there, you are going to have to, again, do it through a linked bank account, which, as far as I can tell, means you can't do direct deposit. So if you are getting money from an employer that is being direct deposited into an account, you're not going to be putting it straight into the Apple Savings Account, which means you're going to have another account which you can then transfer it into. So it has to be an account that you own, that you have control over, that you are transferring the money into the Apple Savings Account. With the recent news of regional banks going belly up, it might make you feel good to know that this is an FDIC account, and it actually maxes out at $250,000 in terms of the amount of money that you can actually have in Apple Savings, which is what the FDIC uses as their maximum to actually insure your money. So you don't have to worry about any of your money being in there that is not insured. So that is pretty much it. It is a savings account, so there's not a whole lot to talk about with it, but because it's Apple, there's always something to talk about. Competitive interest rate, no minimums on your deposits or the balances that you keep in there, no fees. So all of those are good things. Having to have the Apple Card in order to actually get the Apple Savings Account is one of those things like, well, I don't know if I get the card in order to get the account, but if you already have it, that might be another way for Apple to lock you in further in their ecosystem with the Apple Card with your iPhone to make sure that you stay with them. So certainly nothing on the downside in terms of what you're getting here. It's a little cumbersome to move your money around, but if you want to sort of have your money locked into a savings account a little bit, maybe this is a way for you to put it away and not have it so easy for you to access. It's not a huge hurdle, obviously, to move the money back out of the savings account, but it is not going to be your everyday checking and savings account because of some of the other limitations. So it's sort of like you're putting money off to the side there that you're not necessarily going to access easily, and that's up to you to decide whether you think that is a good thing or not. I would love to hear your thoughts about it in the comments section below. Otherwise, I thank you for watching, and as always, please go to proudmoney.com where we do credit card reviews, we talk personal finance, we talk deals, and all sorts of other fun stuff too. If you're not leaving a comment or going to the website, the next video for you to watch is right there.